Coming up, caught on tape, squirrels wreaking havoc in my garden and the squirrel buster I built that foils them. Hello everyone, I'm Denise and welcome to Denise's Final Third. There are a couple of little nuances to this that really help the ground. Now today I'm in the garden where squirrels have been digging up my precious specialty radishes, and they've been digging my seeds, carrying my seeds around, and just generally just throwing them all over. And so finally I had to do something about it. And in this video we'll show you how to make a $5 DIY vegetable cage that effectively prevents the squirrels from digging, burying, throwing around your vegetable seeds. This easy and affordable solution will protect your garden from those pesky critters. Stay tuned as I walk you through the simple steps to building your own squirrel buster. With just a few basic materials and a bit of time, you'll have a sturdy cage that keeps your garden safe. Here's a materials list for this DIY wire row vegetable cage. Now, in my case, I'm making a cage to protect my rows of radishes, as opposed to a round or bell-shaped cloche type cage. Knowing this, my materials start with boxes that are pretty much longer than they are wide to make a mold that will fit over my rows. I'll also need chicken wire, wire cutters, and gloves. All right, let's take some measurements. Okay, and we are in from the garden now, and we're going to be making our enclosures. And the chicken wire that I'm using is 3 feet or 36 inches long. I have 2 boxes that I'm going to use as a mold. I'll show you that in a minute. It's 34, the 2 together, 34 long, and I think I had these at what? Yeah, about 7 and about 7. Okay, so we've got that. Now, what we're going to do, these are our molds, right? Essentially, we're going to bend and form the chicken wire over this. Here's my clippers. Actually, I'll put these right here. Put my gloves on, because you're going to need gloves for this, because the chicken wire is prickly. And, all right, now, I'm going to go over the top, and I'm going to be moving around my island here that I have. I'll give you a couple of different shots of this. And can you see me right here? I guess you can. Okay, so can you see that I'm forming this and pinching this here and making this fit the mold of the boxes? Okay, now can you see how I'm forming this? On this side here, pretty much to match what happened over there on the other side. Okay, so now it's here. And now I think you can see me starting to bend this and form it, right? So we're bending and forming, bending. All right, so now we're folding this on the end, and as if we were folding a Christmas gift. That's the easiest way I can think of, and you want it to touch the ground, right? And so we're like this. We're over here. We're folding this over now. See how I'm folding that over? Okay, so we've got one end here, the other end. Okay, so now we're going to take it off the mold and I'll show you what it looks like. like a loaf of bread with no middle. There, see that? See how that looks? And that will set right down over, in my case, my radishes. So see how that kind of came out there? I know it's kind of hard because I guess we'll see it a little bit better when we're out in the garden how that goes down. But out in the garden, and I've made several of these, and we're going to start installing them, and I'll show you how I'm going to be doing this. I also have some landscape staples, some of the smaller ones, and here I'll show these to you. I'll show them to you off camera too, and I'm going to be staking this down. So okay, so we've got one here in our row, and we're going to overlap a little bit, and these have been mounded rows that have already been kicked up and dug up by squirrels. So what we're trying to do here is I'm going to have to reseed, but this is how this is going to look. And then you sink this down, and then you go over on the other side here and sink that down. Now squirrels will dig, but they don't really burrow under. So this will be a good deterrent for the squirrels, and that's initially what happened. As you can see here, the squirrels got in, and she dug around and started moving my seeds and stuff around. So I'm going to have to do a little reseeding, but this is what this looks like. And this will be a good cover for the squirrels. And that sinks right in there, even for the birds even. Now mice, which don't seem to be real interested, mice or rats, probably could get through this, but this is for the squirrels. Okay, so as you can see, I have the chicken wire, DIY chicken wire cages installed. This really didn't take hardly any time at all. Super inexpensive. I'm going to say probably these four, they're 5 feet long. I don't know, maybe $5. Now this will not keep the bugs out, obviously, and it wouldn't keep a rat or a mouse out, but it will keep the squirrels out. And since I had direct sowed these directly into the ground, when I first put the seeds in the ground, right after me came a squirrel and dug and threw everything. So it really kind of screwed things up a little bit. So I reseeded, and then this is what they look like. I used some, staples, some landscaping staples to secure those to the ground. And that should do the trick for what we have. I actually think they kind of look kind of cool. I like that look, that kind of rustic, kind of DIY homemade look. I really like that. So